weed and the ocean breeze. Humble is home. Anybody got a tip on a place I could rent, please?
I woke up in the woods with my stomach rumbling, and I gotta find $1, so I'm off and running, awfully humbling. Never picture myself homeless, yet here I am. Same shoes was once nice, now more worn. Where I stand, if asking for $1, they look at you like you less than man. Hard to find a job, and I ain't showered in a week. Some folks smiling at me, I sense judgment when they speak. You ever been homeless, hopeless, not sure where to go? I've been there before, and the stress is uncomparable. People asking for a handout, but really need a hand up, cause your life will never change if you don't stand up straight. What you wanna judge and annotate? Nah, I just wanna see a world with more love and less hate, cause the problems never solve themselves, and we gotta see the other side. I try to smile at homeless folks with loving eyes. I tell them God bless and keep your head up with some faith and hard work. I promise days get better.
Humble is home. Land of the tall trees, weed and the ocean breeze. Humble is home. Anybody got a tip on a place I could rent, please?
My name is Gwendolyn Egger. I'm currently residing at 150 Stamps Lane at the moment, but not for long. My landlord here got foreclosed on back in February of this year. She continued to collect rent from all the tenants, and she didn't even give us a notice. I've lived here for 10 plus years. I found out from a neighbor that like with 4 days the sheriffs were going to be out here, and they came out. They gave us an extra 15 days to move out. I have a disabled father, disabled daughter. My daughter has MS. My dad is on oxygen 24/7. I have a 4-year-old grandson that I got guardianship of. I take care of, and nowhere to go. Everywhere I look for RV park, they're saying my trailer's too old to put it in there. So I have no idea what I'm going to do. That's bottom line.
My name is Amanda Bauer. I actually have 2 sons, and yeah, I've lived in the dunes for the past probably on and off for the past 5 years, and it sucked. To be honest, I've been over here by Friends of the Dunes, you know, and I've been over there, you know, down by that parking lot towards Eureka, and I've been right over there at the Water District too. So, I mean, I just keep getting kicked out everywhere I go.
My name's William Edward Dickey. I never really took it seriously. I was self-sheltered. I lived in the same house for 27 years. I had an acre of land, a giant swimming pool, 11.5 feet deep, 20 by 40, an acre of land. I mean, I was isolated from being homeless. You know, I was living, I thought, just reasonable. I wasn't trying to be, you know, precocious in any way, shape, or form. I didn't think I was that big of a deal, but, you know, now I look back on it and I was kind of cocky and stupid. I would have used my land a little bit differently. I would have had more people be able to camp out if they wanted to.
My name is Eric Bowden. I've been here for 31 years, and I'm sitting at the Arcata Transit Center. I've been homeless for about 7 years now. I want to say that everyone's not a bad guy out here. We're struggling. There's some good people out here.
My name's Ami Moore, and I'm born and raised in California, so I've been in Humboldt for a while, and it's my home. Most of us, I'll say, try to do our best to not become a problem for the people of the city that want to access all these public places where we end up, and the workers whose job is to take care of them, and even the police. You know, we don't want them to have to come babysit or tell us things every day about what we should or shouldn't do. We would rather have choices, but there just aren't as many choices as people think there might be. And when you're out here having to do something as simple as shower and change your clothes and something clean is an extreme effort or struggle that we don't always have the ability to do.
Do you stay warm in there?
You know, I've had everything from big setup 6-man tents that I could walk in with a raised air bed to some of the smaller tents. I don't prefer this setup because it's hard to keep it dry in the heavy rains we get. But I do stay warm enough. I usually have little tricks and things, and I know how to keep more than enough bedding usually. I'll share with others when I need it, but it's good to have a couple extra blankets up here and try to keep them bagged and dry, because this rain and stuff, it can go through anything, it seems like sometimes.
Stacy Cobain. Cobine, yeah. Rusty, and this is Rusty. I have issues, and it's really difficult, like, to even sit still to fill out applications or to finish the process, you know? I can't. Come here, Rusty. Sorry. It's just kind of hard to, I don't know, it's just really difficult for me. I just have a hard time. I don't really make enough, you know, I don't make enough to pay 3 times the rent, which is what they want you to make when you're working. They want you to be able to have 3 times the rent, but I still don't qualify. I don't qualify for low-income housing. I mean, it's just, I'm stuck in this like middle gray area it's really shitty, because it's like, what's the incentive to even try and better my life, you know what I mean? If I'd be better off if I didn't have any work under my belt, if I was just, you know, living off of SSI, I'd be better off than trying to, you know, improve myself. It just sucks.
A lot of people don't realize it's not just getting a job. You're out there surviving all day, and that's all you can do really is figure out where you're going to go from here to there with all of your gear, because cops are moving you around constantly, and you don't have time to try to. And if you do get a job, who's going to watch your gear, all your stuff while you're gone? And there's got to be a place to take a shower. There's got to be, I mean, it's just so much easier if you have a place. Because when I got in my tiny place, I was able not just to survive, figuring out where I'm going to go and what I'm going to do. I mean, I have time to relax and just step back and I could take a shower. I could, you know, I don't have to worry about where am I going to sleep tonight? Is it going to rain tonight? I just had a great opportunity here at St. Vincent de Paul. Well, they took me in during the COVID. Sorry. It was stopped.
It's okay. It's okay.
And I got in this tiny house village. This tiny house, which is great. I just love it. And gave me a lot of opportunities. It did. I've got a job now. I'm working for an outreach program, giving tents and sleeping bags and stuff out to the homeless. And it's a great job, but that's coming to an end, so I'm getting a little scared. And I'm just thankful for what I have.
I don't think people realize that you're only $1,000 away from being homeless, especially if you live check to check. I was going from one friend's house to my sister's house to like my kind of girlfriend's house, but then she didn't want like to label anything, and I would stay there, and then I would stay in a bush, and then I would like, and a lot of time it wasn't like I don't want to go to the shelter or something. They have a curfew. They had a curfew at like 10 and stuff, and I still wasn't wanting to admit that I was homeless. So I would want to stay out with other people and, you know, like have a social life, I guess, essentially, because I was only like 25, and so I wanted to talk with people and go to the bar and stuff. Even though I didn't drink, I'd go with like everyone else and like maybe get a chance to rap or sing or whatever.
I think what would be really helpful would be if they built a complex of studio apartments. Really, you have your own bathroom and a little kitchenette and just one room, you know, that you can lock the door. Because most people really on the streets really don't get along with everybody else, so it's difficult to have like a roommate situation. So I think that would be the most beneficial, that we're sliding scale and not just low income. The NIMBYs make it really difficult to get anything done. They're not in my backyard, you know. But we can't keep pushing this problem off to the next town because it never gets solved, you know. It just never gets solved.
Helpful would be like somebody to help me as far as me going is filling out all these applications. I mean, they want everything. There's so much stuff that you have to do. They want references. They run credit checks. They want every member in the household to fill out an application and pay $20 application fee for each one of them. I mean, that's $60 that I would, if I don't get the house, I'm not going to get that back at all. It's just ridiculous. And the prices of the houses, like a 3-bedroom apartment is running like $1,900 a month. Plus you have to pay your utilities. Plus they want a $2,500 to $3,000 deposit on top of that just to get in that place.
Place to park the trailers, you know, the older trailers that a lot of places won't accept. I mean, that would help out a lot.
More trash disposal that we have access to, more access to some type of public showering, to have more places where they would say that, okay, we understand if you don't have a place, we want to help you get a place, but if you don't have one until now, there are some places outside where we're kind of almost setting aside, so to speak, or at least making it understood that because it's a public space that's a safe haven from the weather or such, you know, we're going to make exceptions for that for certain circumstances, but not necessarily to tell people it's okay to just live here long term forever and not try, but we really don't have even anywhere like that. They actually have worked to remove places like that, if anything.
The biggest thing I think the awareness is to change the attitude that we're trash out here. We're not. We're just trying to get by. It's hard. It doesn't make sense, man. I mean, look at me. This is not right. I've never been like this in my life. Hot water would be nice. A place to cook. A place to just have a life. Feel like you're a human again. I don't feel like I'm human anymore. I can't even shower but once every 2 weeks. Once every 2 weeks. Are you listening? Once every 2 weeks. I'm used to showering twice a day.
Some people are so far removed and lost, they don't know how to find the help. And people try to find them, but they don't even know how to help themselves. They need coddling. They do. It's like cooking an egg right. Otherwise, it's going to get a runny yolk.
Another big thing that helped us all, even when we were in the shelter, was we had a community garden. And that really helped because instead of like bickering with each other and like at each other's throats, we all helped grow this like amazing garden. If you see someone going through hard times, try your best to help them because they're that much closer to the edge than the rest of us. And we are closer than you think. I'm telling you, a lot of us are closer than we think to being homeless. One of the people who worked at the homeless shelter, I saw him a week ago and he's homeless now. And he was staff there like 4 years ago.
I think like a tiny house village would be great, or like what Betty Jen has. You know, they could do a whole bunch of different little things, you know, like even in the containers. Those were made into the places for people to stay. And once, if you just give them time to get acclimated, I think they could get their mental health, they could get on their meds again, and they could, you know, yeah, be able to survive without having to worry about surviving.
They need somebody out here for the mentally ill because their number is grown through the roof. The number in a day that come to our building that are mentally ill are on their way to being really mentally ill is half at least. You know, and they don't know where to get help. They don't know what to do, and a lot of them don't even know there's a problem with them. The things that I think would help everybody out here would be tiny houses. They give people more self-esteem with themselves. They have control over what they do next. When people see, like for instance this one, you know, she's come a long ways. They see that you can better yourself, then they want to better themselves. I mean, nobody wants to really be bad. They just need help being good.
People are so worried about homeless people. They think that we're going to steal, we're going to hurt people, we're going to rape and pillage, smoke drugs, sell crack to kids, whatever. That's not it.
You know, what frustrates me is when crime is associated with homelessness. The vast majority of crimes that we've had are not from people who are experiencing homelessness. And when we had a rash of burglaries down in Old Town and people breaking into Old Town, and there were certain community members that were saying, you know, this is a homelessness issue, and it wasn't. It was a person that was housed that we ended up catching, and it wasn't a community member experiencing homelessness. If they're homeless, doesn't mean that they're out committing crimes.
Don't forget that they're people. We're all people, and we all have feelings, and we all want to be heard, and we all want to be felt, and we all want to be held and fed. And so, although you might not have the money right now, maybe you could sit down and listen to somebody.
Humble is home, land of the tall trees, weed and the ocean breeze. Humble is home. Anybody got a tip on a place I could rent, please?
Waking up in a bush or on the street is not new to me. Usually I had people explain their view to me. I was lonely but not alone, had homies but not at home. I went from a bed and fully fed, then to a couch, woke up in a hospital. Cops looking, harassing, nurses staring and passing, but no speaking while I'm barely breathing. I was down due to disabilities. Life changed for me when I stopped listening to those who let me sit and rot like crabs just in a pot. Too late to say what's hot. Before we knew it, we were ruined, swayed by sewage. Once I heard myself and didn't follow no one else, I made it out with many friends helping. Got the game was most impressive when you make it out. That is my inner wealth. That's why every struggle, big or small, we can change the outcome of the hands we're dealt. I hope it's felt. I hope it's felt.